Wait in the car. I don't want drama with my ex at this wedding, she said at the venue entrance. I waited 5 minutes, then drove home, canceled our couple's vacation, and returned her key. She found her suitcase on the porch with a tag, drama-free zone. Original post. I 33. Male had been with Jessica 30 for 2 years. We met at a friend's 4th of July party in Minneapolis, where I worked as a mechanical engineer for an aerospace manufacturing company, and she was a real estate agent who specialized in luxury properties. She was charming, outgoing, and had this confidence that made her magnetic in any room. Our relationship started strong. Weekend trips to Duluth, trying every new restaurant in the Twin Cities, lazy Sundays watching football, and cooking elaborate breakfasts. Jessica moved into my townhouse after about 10 months of dating. It made sense financially. Her lease was ending, and we were spending every night together anyway. Things felt solid. Then I started noticing the ex-boyfriend mentions. His name was Brandon. They dated for 4 years before breaking up about 8 months before Jessica and I met. According to her, it was a mutual split. They'd grown apart, wanted different things, the usual story. She said they'd remained friends, which I didn't think was weird at first. Mature adults can be friends with exes, right? But Brandon wasn't just a name that came up occasionally. He was woven into her life in ways that started feeling intrusive. Brandon recommended this restaurant, she'd say when suggesting dinner plans. Brandon mentioned this neighborhood is up and coming when we drive through certain parts of the city. Brandon thinks I should pursue commercial properties more when discussing her career. Brandon, do you talk to him a lot? I asked one night, trying to sound casual. Not really. We text sometimes. He's still friends with a lot of my friends, so we run into each other at things. It's not weird, right? No, it's fine, I said, even though it was starting to feel weird. The first real incident happened about 6 months into us living together. Jessica's friend group was throwing a birthday party for someone named Melissa at a bar downtown. I'd met Melissa once, seemed nice enough, and Jessica asked if I wanted to come. Definitely, I said. We got to the bar around 8 p.m. The party was in a reserved section, maybe 20 people there. Jessica immediately got swept into conversations, hugging people, laughing, doing her social butterfly thing. I grabbed a beer and made small talk with a few people I'd met before. Then Brandon walked in. I knew it was him immediately. Jessica's body language changed. She tensed, then overcompensated with this too bright smile. He was tall, probably 6 feet 2 inches, wearing an expensive-looking button-down and one of those watches that cost more than my car payment. He saw Jessica and headed straight for her. They hugged. Not a quick side hug. A full, both arms around each other, lasting 3 seconds too long hug. I walked over. Brandon, this is David, my boyfriend, Jessica said, and I swear there was something apologetic in her tone. Hey man, good to meet you, Brandon said, shaking my hand with that firm grip guys use when they're sizing each other up. Heard a lot about you. Likewise, I lied. The rest of the night was uncomfortable. Brandon stayed close to Jessica's friend group, which meant he stayed close to Jessica. I'd catch them talking, heads close together, laughing at inside jokes I wasn't part of. At one point, I came back from the bathroom to find Brandon's hand on Jessica's shoulder while he told some story that had her cracking up. On the drive home, I brought it up. That was kind of uncomfortable tonight. What was Brandon? The way he was with you. David, he's friends with everyone there. He wasn't being weird. He had his hand on you. He's a touchy person. That's just how he is. Does that not bother you? Should it? We're friends. You're being insecure. That word, insecure. She said it like it was a character flaw I needed to fix. I dropped it, but I didn't forget it. Over the next several months, Brandon kept appearing. Group dinners where Jessica would mention he'd be there only after we'd already committed. Happy hours with the crew that always included him. A charity 5K that Jessica wanted to run where Brandon was also registered. Why does he have to be at everything? I asked after the 5K. He doesn't have to be. He just is. He's part of the friend group, David. I can't uninvite him from things that aren't even my events. You could choose to skip some things. Why should I? Because you're uncomfortable with me having male friends. He's not just a male friend. He's your ex-boyfriend who clearly still has feelings for you. That's ridiculous. Brandon is dating someone. Her name is Amber. She just lives out of state, so she's not at these things. Convenient. You're being paranoid. Maybe I was. Or maybe I was paying attention. The wedding invitation came in March. Jessica's cousin, Emma, was getting married in May at some vineyard an hour outside the city. Jessica was excited. She was close with Emma, and it was supposed to be a beautiful venue. "You're my plus one, obviously," she said, showing me the invitation. "Wouldn't miss it." 2 weeks before the wedding, Jessica got quieter, distracted. She'd check her phone more often, type messages quickly, then put it away when I came into the room. "Everything okay?" I asked one night. "Yeah, fine. Just wedding stuff." Emma's stressing about details. The Thursday before the wedding, Jessica was on the phone in the bedroom. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but our townhouse wasn't that big. I heard her say Brandon's name, then something about "it'll be fine, and we'll just avoid each other." When she came out, I asked, "Was that about the wedding?" "What?" "Your call. I heard you mention Brandon." She hesitated. "Yeah, he's going to be there. He's friends with Emma's fiancé. And you're just now mentioning this?" I didn't think it was a big deal. "Jessica, come on. You've been stressed all week. This is clearly a big deal. I just don't want it to be awkward. Brandon and I in the same place. With you there, it's just, I want everyone to have a good time. So what are you suggesting?" "Nothing. I'm not suggesting anything. Maybe we keep some distance from him at the wedding? Like, we don't need to interact with him." "That's fine with me." But I could tell there was more she wasn't saying. The day of the wedding arrived. Saturday, beautiful weather, perfect for an outdoor ceremony. Jessica spent the morning getting ready, hair and makeup, the whole process. She looked stunning in her blue dress. We drove to the vineyard in my car, about an hour through scenic Minnesota countryside. Jessica was quiet during the drive, checking her phone periodically. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just nervous." "About what?" "I don't know. Weddings make me emotional." We arrived at the venue around 3 p.m. The ceremony was at 4, cocktail hour at 5, reception at 6. The vineyard was gorgeous, rolling hills, grapevines everywhere, a rustic barn converted into an event space. We parked and walked toward the entrance. Other guests were arriving, everyone dressed up, excited energy in the air. Jessica grabbed my hand as we approached the main building. Then her phone buzzed. She checked it. Her face changed. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Nothing. Just give me a second." She typed a response, fast. Another message came through. She read it, and I watched her close her eyes briefly, like she was bracing herself. "Jessica, what's going on?" "Brandon's here. He just texted. He's near the entrance." "Okay. So this is going to sound bad." "Say it." She took a breath. "Wait in the car. I don't want drama with my ex at this wedding." I stared at her. "You want me to wait in the car?" "Just for a little bit. Until everyone's inside and seated. I'll come get you before the ceremony starts. I just don't want the awkward run-in right at the entrance where everyone can see." "You're serious." "David, please. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I just know how Brandon is. If he sees us together right away, he'll get weird, and I don't want to deal with that today. This is Emma's day. I don't want drama." "So your solution is to hide your boyfriend in the car?" "Not hide. Just delay. 10 minutes. Please." Other guests were walking past us, heading inside. Jessica was looking at me with these pleading eyes, like I was the one being unreasonable. "Fine," I said. "Thank you. I'll be right back, okay?" She kissed my cheek and walked toward the entrance. I watched her go, watched her disappear into the building with the other guests. I stood there for maybe 30 seconds. Then I got back in my car, started the engine, and drove home. The hour drive back to Minneapolis gave me a lot of time to think. About every time Jessica had chosen Brandon's comfort over mine. Every time she dismissed my feelings as insecurity. Every time I'd been made to feel like the problem for not being okay with her ex-boyfriend being a constant presence in our relationship. Waiting in the car was the final straw. Not even a dramatic final straw. Just a quiet, clear moment of realization that I was never going to be her priority as long as Brandon existed in her life. I got home around 5 p.m., walked into the townhouse, looked around at our shared space. Her stuff was everywhere. Clothes in the closet, toiletries in the bathroom, her fancy coffee maker on the counter, her throw pillows on the couch that I'd initially hated but gotten used to. I started packing. Her suitcase was in the bedroom closet. I pulled it out, started filling it with her clothes. Not everything, just enough. A week's worth of outfits. Underwear, shoes, toiletries from the bathroom, her laptop from the desk, her chargers, her jewelry box. It took me about 2 hours. I was methodical, careful. This wasn't about being destructive. This was about being done. I left the suitcase on the front porch, wrote a note on an index card, attached it to the handle with tape. Drama-free zone. Then I went inside, locked the door, and changed the entry code on the smart lock. She had a key, but the deadbolt could only be opened from inside, and I engaged it. My phone started ringing around 5:30 p.m. Jessica. I didn't answer. She called 3 more times during what I assumed was cocktail hour. Left a voicemail. David, where are you? The ceremony's about to start. Call me back. I didn't call back. More calls during the ceremony. More during dinner, I assumed. By 8 p.m., she'd called 15 times and left 6 voicemails ranging from confused to worried to angry. Where the hell are you? This isn't funny, David. People are asking where my boyfriend is, and I look like an idiot. Call me back right now. I texted her once, around 9 p.m. Your suitcase is on the porch. Key is inside. Lock code has been changed. You can pick up the rest of your things next week when I'm not here. My phone exploded. She called immediately. I declined it. She called again. Declined. Text messages started flooding in. What? Are you serious right now? David, answer your phone. You're breaking up with me over text? Because of today? Are you kidding me? I asked you to wait for 10 minutes. You're insane. Call me. We need to talk about this. I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb and poured myself a bourbon. Around 11 p.m., I heard a car pull up outside, then pounding on the door. David, open this door. I stayed on the couch, watching a movie with subtitles on. More pounding. I know you're in there. Your car is here. Open the door. I didn't move. You can't just kick me out. I live here. Technically, she didn't. The townhouse was mine, bought before we met. She'd moved in, but never gotten added to the deed or the mortgage. Legally, she was a guest. A guest I was asking to leave. We need to talk about this. I unmuted the TV slightly. Kept watching my movie. She pounded for another 5 minutes. Then I heard her on the phone. Couldn't make out words, but her tone was angry crying. Probably calling a friend. Eventually, she stopped. I heard her car door slam. Engine start. Drive away. I finished my bourbon and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up to 47 text messages and 23 missed calls. Not just from Jessica. Her friends. Her mother. Her sister. All with variations of the same message. How could you do this to her? She's devastated. You embarrassed her in front of everyone. You need to talk to her. This is cruel. I responded to exactly one message. Jessica's sister, Lauren, who I'd actually always liked. Asked Jessica why I was sitting in a car instead of attending the wedding with her. Then ask yourself if you'd put up with that from someone who claims to love you. Lauren didn't respond. Jessica showed up again Monday afternoon. I'd taken the day off work, anticipating this. Heard her car, then the doorbell. I opened the door. She looked terrible. Makeup smeared, eyes puffy, still wearing sweatpants and an oversized hoodie. Can I please come in? She asked, her voice small. No. David, please. We need to talk. There's nothing to talk about. Yes, there is. You left me at a wedding. Do you know how humiliating that was? Do you know how humiliating it was to be told to wait in the car like a child because your ex-boyfriend might see us together? I explained why I asked that, and I'm explaining why I left. I'm done being second to Brandon. I'm done being hidden or delayed or made to feel like my presence is inconvenient. I'm done with all of it. It was one time. It wasn't one time, Jessica. It's been 2 years of Brandon. 2 years of you prioritizing his comfort over our relationship. The wedding was just the moment I finally saw it clearly. I don't prioritize him. You asked your boyfriend to hide in a car so your ex-boyfriend wouldn't be uncomfortable. What else do you call that? She was crying now. I made a mistake. I panicked. I wasn't thinking clearly. You were thinking very clearly. You were thinking about Brandon's feelings. Like you always do. That's not fair. What's not fair is spending 2 years in a relationship where I'm constantly competing with someone you claim is just a friend. Just a friend. Then why does he matter more than me? She didn't have an answer for that. Your stuff is packed, I said. I'll leave it on the porch when you're ready to pick it up. Text me when you're coming, and I'll make sure I'm not here. You're really doing this. I really am. Because of one wedding. Because of 2 years of weddings and parties and dinners and 5 Burmese shots and every other event where Brandon was there and I was made to feel like I was the problem for existing. I closed the door. She didn't knock again. Over the next week, she picked up her things. I left everything neatly packed in boxes on the porch. She came when I wasn't home, took it all, left the key in the mailbox. She tried texting a few more times. I'm sorry. I miss you. Can we please just talk? I'll cut Brandon off completely. I swear. I didn't respond. 2 weeks later, I heard through mutual friends that Jessica and Brandon were dating. Apparently, it just happened after the wedding. They'd both been single, both been there for each other during hard times. It was natural. Sure, natural. I wasn't even surprised. In a weird way, it validated everything. She'd been emotionally invested in him the whole time we were together. Now she could stop pretending otherwise. I started focusing on myself. Hit the gym harder. Picked up old hobbies I'd neglected. Started going to Twins games with coworkers. Went on a solo camping trip to the Boundary Waters. Reconnected with friends I'd lost touch with. 3 months later, I matched with someone on a dating app. Her name was Nicole. She was a veterinarian, funny, kind, and refreshingly straightforward about what she wanted. On our third date, she asked about my last relationship. It ended because she couldn't let go of her ex. I said, "That's rough. I'm sorry. I'm not. I learned a lot from it." Like what? Like I'd rather be alone than be someone's second choice. That's a good lesson. Yeah, took me too long to learn it, but better late than never. Nicole smiled. Well, for what it's worth, you seem like a solid first choice to me. We've been dating for 4 months now. She's never made me wait in a car. She's never made me feel like my presence is inconvenient. She's never prioritized an ex over our relationship. Turns out, when you're with the right person, you don't have to compete for their attention. Jessica texted me last week from a new number I hadn't blocked. Brandon and I broke up. I know you probably don't care, but I wanted you to know you were right. About everything. I'm sorry. I read it. Thought about responding. Decided against it. Because the thing is, I do care. Not about her. Not anymore. But I care about the lesson. Some people don't realize what they have until it's gone. Some people never realize it at all. Jessica spent 2 years choosing Brandon over me. And then when she finally got what she thought she wanted, it wasn't what she wanted at all. That's not my problem to solve. My name is David. I'm 33 years old, and I stopped waiting in the car for people who don't value me. Best decision I ever made. The drama-free zone is pretty peaceful.